Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new monotone video here on the channel. In today's video we are going to be discussing a truly disturbing Ninjago fact that I accidentally stumbled upon while doing research for another video. And of course this fact has to do with the good old Master Chen, the most sane and reasonable Ninjago villain of all time. Just kidding, he's kind of a loon. Ninjago being Ninjago, I'm honestly surprised with how much this show is able to get away with, despite being a kids show by definition. Ninjago deep down has some pretty disturbing and dark subject matter, and it's honestly shocking that Ninjago has gotten away with so much over the years. Some of the darker aspects about Ninjago's lore include some pretty messed up topics, including, but not limited to, cannibalism, poverty, murder, alcoholism, demonic rituals, Sudoku, interesting love triangles which are just horrific to some fans for whatever reason, questionable spirit smoke usage, and the poaching and killing of dragons and or turning them into chairs, whatever you'd call that. Yeah, that's happened too. And additionally, we can add grave robbing to that list as well, because in today's video we're going to talk about a pretty disturbing fact that includes grave robbing and focuses on the character of Master Chen as mentioned earlier. Master Chen is a pretty messed up guy, but I'm sure you guys already knew that. You guys have seen season 4. Tournament of Elements is my all-time favorite Ninjago season, partially because of just how insane Master Chen is. The dude is truly something else. And I want to take a deep dive into some of the things that he's done in today's video, including, again, the whole grave robbing situation. What's that all about? Well, as I mentioned, I stumbled across this fact while doing research for another video, and I haven't really seen anybody really discuss this in the community. I'm just finding out about it now. When Day of the Departed was coming out, obviously multiple Ninjago villains were returning, and that included Master Chen coming back for a brief period of time. During the marketing of Day of the Departed, LEGO decided to do profiles on each of the characters that were returning, and again, this includes Master Chen, and the subject matter of that description is pretty questionable to say the least. I think I can only do it justice by showing it to you guys and reading it to you, so let's go ahead and do that really quick. Alright, so I have a couple of descriptions here to show you in terms of this dark and disturbing Ninjago fact. The first thing that we're going to be taking a look at here is the write-up that was done about the Jade Blade. It says the Jade Blades were carved from the bones of the departed Serpentine warriors and reserved for the greatest Anacondri leaders. Chen helped himself to their bones while tomb raiding and carved his own to use in the Tournament of Elements. This was another reason that the returning Anacondri took an instant dislike to Chen and his worshippers. Now Skylar keeps the Jade Blades locked up safe and sound, just in case. So the Jade Blades by nature are bones of dead snakes, so that's interesting to think about right there, and some of them are even from great Anacondri leaders, so add that to the list of messed up things in the Ninjago series, and especially under the things that Chen himself has done. We have another quick write-up here of Master Chen himself. Let's just read through this really quick. Chen's past is littered with terrible secrets. Responsible for the Serpentine Wars, he set both Garmadon and Klaus on a path of evil and interfered with the lives of Wu and Misako. He desecrated the Anacondri tomb to make his hat from their bones, angering the real snakes when they returned. Somewhere along the way, he learned to create delicious noodles. This suggests the recipe might be serpentine in origin, or that he was a foodie with a lot of time on his hands. I'm kind of ruling out that second option here. He most definitely made the noodles from serpentine, let's be real. If this dude is going through enough trouble to decimate graves and steal bones to make Jade Blades and hats or whatever else, there's no way that he's not using some of those leftover remains from the snakes to make delicious noodles. I feel bad for the citizens of Ninjago City just eating snake noodles all the time. I'm sure some people don't care, but it's pretty messed up when you think about the fact that serpentine and humans used to be equal under the guidelines of morality and mutual respect. So yeah, kind of disturbing coming from Master Chen here. Also, yeah, he did start both Serpentine Wars, bringing chaos to Ninjago, and all things considered, he was a pretty bad father to Skylar. Speaking of which, I very much am optimistic that Skylar changed the recipe once she inherited Chen's noodle shop. There's no way she's still making serpentine noodles because she's just too pure for that. See, stuff like this is why I love Master Chen so much. As I said, he's just a guy that's insane and hungry for power just for the sake of being insane and hungry for power. He's pretty much Ninjago's Joker when you want to break it down even further. The dude is just nuts, and I find that to be really enjoyable about his character, and I love when villains such as Chen push the boundaries of the show and even push what they're allowed to show and discuss in the Ninjago lore itself. To further back up Chen's just blatant insanity, it's pretty weird to think that somebody who worships the Anacondri generals and the entire Anacondri race would go as far as to basically decimate desecrate their graves, take their remains, and use them to create new Jade Blades, accessories, hats, and clothes and stuff. It seems like somebody who worships the Anacondrae should maybe not do that kind of stuff, maybe do everything in their power to protect the Anacondrae grave. For example, the normal person that worships the Anacondrae, imagine that, would probably not be super keen about Lloyd basically opening the Anacondrae tomb, because then people like Chen would go in there and steal things, desecrate the graves, pretty much disrespect the Anacondrae. But no, instead Master Chen is in favor of that kind of stuff, which shows that his idea of worship is not the traditional definition. To Chen, worshipping the Anacondrae means basically becoming the Anacondrae by any means necessary. That's why his entire plan to turn him and his followers into snakes is as crazy as it is. That's their idea of worship. Taking the properties of the Anacondrae, the strongest serpentine race in history, and applying that to your own physique because you feel as though you deserve it, because you're some type of Anacondrae worshiper, that in and of itself is the insane type of action that Chen takes, and I just love his character for that reason. Chen doesn't care if he starts a war, or if he ruins the lives of several people that he knows. All Chen cares about is his final goal, because he believes that he deserves to get there. Again, Chen never truly cared for the Anacondrae. You can tell by the way he treated Pythor during the events of Season 4. When Chen got his hand on a pure living Anacondrae, the last of the Anacondrae that were currently around, what did he do with Pythor? He decided to use him to further his own goal. Again, showcasing that Master Chen's idea of worshipping something is a little bit more fanatic than the traditional sense. Stuff like this is why I never understood the whole Ninjago isn't dark argument. On the surface, yes, Ninjago is a kid's show, but that doesn't mean it can't get into some heavy topics and some dark subject matter, and if cannibalism and grave robbing isn't dark by nature, I'm not sure what is. Looking into the lore that goes outside of the Ninjago series, the story can have some pretty messed up twists and turns, and that's why I love just how big this world is. And just overall, guys, Master Chen may in fact be one of Ninjago's more messed up bad guys. While some Ninjago villains simply just want to get revenge or turn the world into their image, Master Chen just wants to watch the world burn, and to that, I applaud the guy. There's not a lot of Ninjago characters that are just human, but just totally crazy, and that's their character. Maybe Harumi to an extent, but Master Chen, that dude went all out in what he was trying to do and accomplish, and I think for the most part Master Chen will go down in history as one of Ninjago's more terrifying villains just because of his personality and what goes on in between his non-existent ears. Thank you so much for watching today's video, you guys. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Feel free to leave a comment down below discussing what exactly you think about all of this crazy stuff that Master Chen has done over the years, and what other Ninjago villains have done some truly messed up things. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this one. This one was a lot of fun for me to make, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and as always, check out the links down below in the description for other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Once again, you guys, my name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.